Hello there. I have a fun project for you today. We are going to create a scrapbook page based off of this Christmas card design. So, all week long, the creative design team is bringing you videos where each of us have selected a card from last year's 31 Days of Christmas Cards event, and we're showing you how to translate this inspiration into a scrapbook page. So, more on the card here in just a moment. I've got three fall photos. My cousin Vanessa, she's my favorite cousin. No offense to any other cousins that might be watching this, but she came up to visit after Thanksgiving and we just had a wonderful time. We went and got coffee with my mom. We went horseback riding. We sat by the fire and just caught up and reminisced about good times. So I have the Gathering Together paper collection here on my desk. I'll be using this paper with these photos. And when we look at our card design, so this is a classic fun fold, and this was just one of the cards I made during one of the classes I like to call Easy to Embellished, where we take a simple design and step it up each time, and this was the stepped up version with the fun folds. But when you look at this card, I see my little reindeer character as my photo, right? Think of this is our subject, this is our character in the photo. And then what do we have behind it? So we have this matted on several layers. We've got a banner element here. And then our card sentiment, joy and love to you, would represent the banner. And then we have embellishments kind of surrounding our title and our photos. So using those, design inspiration elements, I'm going to translate this into a layout. So let me grab my Versamat and we'll jump right in. I've already done some sketching on paper, so I have a general direction of where I'm going with this layout. Now, this is basic beige. I am using the darker side of that color for my background. And then I thought it would be fun to have this group photo in the center and then these on either side here. So kind of something like that. I'm not sure if I'll line them up at the top, if I'll split the difference. We'll kind of let that develop as we go. I do know I want to bring in this banner element and then of course embrace the title underneath and our sprigs here. So I have selected some papers. I want to bring in the gorgeous fall leaves here. I've got lots of different papers. This one, I think I like this one with the yellow. I'm seeing orange and green and, red tones in the background. There's a little bit of yellow greenery in the back. And then, of course, those rich chocolate browns. You can see greens, and the horses have these beautiful brown toned coats. So I'm thinking we're going to bring this in. And I want to bring in leaves for embellishments. And we need to pick some different pattern papers here. So I actually have some scraps as well. Actually, I think, yes, the opposite side of this is this orange, or it's Cajun Craze with these tiny little leaves, and I want to use this side here. For the top, I've got another scrap. It's not quite wide enough for this, but we can trim that down for our element at the top. And I was thinking it would look nice to add a little defining border with a strip of brown. So maybe just like 1/4 of an inch showing. So something like that. I'm not sure. Do I want an inch? We'll kind of just dry fit things for now. And then for my banner element behind my main focal photo, I'm thinking this one. So something like this. And then we need our pattern paper on the side. So we have some pattern paper surrounding our focal photo. And I have actually brought in this pattern paper from the Autumn Toile collection. It's got the pheasants and little nature scene on the back in this beautiful mossy meadow green. But the Autumn Toile actually coordinates with the Gathering Together collection beautifully because we're working with the same color family. We've got the basic beige and then there's the early espresso. So I'm thinking something like this might look really nice for my pattern paper. So I want to add a little separation. I don't want them all on the same level. So maybe something like that. And then just like our card, we would have the title under here and then our embellishment sticking out on the side here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these down and I'll be right back. I've got everything trimmed down. I actually spotted this one, which I had a smaller scrap, so I swapped out this one. And the difference is this one's got a basic beige background. This is white, and this one has the green added to where this one's just the yellows, oranges, and brown tones. So we've got that piece there, which is 1 1/4. Oh my goodness, I can't pick it up. 1 1/4 by 12, and then a little strip of that brown. I cut it wider than I needed it, but it's easier to work with. So we got about 1/4 inch showing. And then for these elements here, this one is 5 inches by 9. And then these are 3 3/4 by 8. So I'm thinking something like this. You could leave the bottom flat if you wanted to, or we are, inspired by the card, going to add the dovetail element here. I kind of like it with the border around the outside. I was going to have it go all the way to the end, but now I'm thinking maybe I like that. Let's see how it looks with our photos. So we're going to bring this one in the center, and then I'm putting this one because we're angled into the layout, and same here, we're kind of angled in looking this way. So maybe I want a little more of that on the outside. Okay, that is looking good. How many of you have already started your Christmas cards for the season? I always have this lofty goal and think that I'm going to make some Christmas cards, each month all year long. And that way, when the season comes, I'll have a whole pile of happy mail to send out. But it usually doesn't ever happen that way for me. So I am always excited for our 31 Days of Christmas card event because it kicks off the season and you get a whole lot of cards made. So what I'm going to do are, actually, let's put a dovetail on these and then we'll ink up the edges. And while I do that, I want to talk to you about this event because it is a very fun event we've been doing for, I think this is our 6th year now. And it's just such a great way to get a lot of cards done while learning new ideas and fun techniques you can use over and over again. Registration is currently open, and you certainly don't want to miss out on 31 pre recorded full length classes full of fun ideas to inspire you, over 100 holiday card ideas. There's a little something for everyone. All levels of crafters are welcome, and you are going to have so much fun. We're going to show you ways to use new supplies as well as revisit your old supplies with these amazing techniques. And of course, there's fun folds and gift card ideas, and of course, just design composition and beautiful techniques to try today. This year's guest designers include Lisa Stens joining us again to share her beautiful artwork, and the talented Brandy Cox. I cannot wait for you to see what they have in store for you. Let me just go ahead and add a little inking to these dovetail pieces. And I cannot stress enough, all levels of crafters are welcome. There's something for everyone. And we show you techniques that you can use with new supplies as well as old supplies in your stash that you want to revisit and put to good use. I still need to put this into a book, but I wanted to bring this in to show you how beefy this guide is. So for those of you that think, oh, I don't have time in October, I'm super busy, or we're gone, we're going away on a trip, you have this full color, beautiful guide full of inspiration and step-by-step how to create these cards and recreate the techniques along with the measurements. And you can just swap out the product all year round. So if you want to make birthday cards, you can use the ideas to make birthday cards or whatever type of card you are creating. But you do get this resource to put on your shelf in your inspiration library. All right, back to our layout design. I did decide to take those over to the edge rather than bumping them in. So we have our banner elements, we've got our photo. Now we need to work on our title and our embellishing. I have been making quite a few projects using the leaves from the Gathering Moment stamp set. So I already have a whole bunch of these stamped and die cut out. This is the stamp set here, and I've used this leaf here and this leaf. They do have the coordinating dies. So if you've been following along, I've already created a couple projects using these large leaves. You can see there are dies for the acorn and the mushroom as well. And I've got a few of those here. Again, these are leftover from other projects. We might work those in. Now, there is the acorn, and this is what that little acorn looks like. It's very cute. But I have also, I've got a few in here. I've created a whole bunch of acorns, and this is from a die set that is exclusive to Paper Pumpkin. So you can see the green on the back. This is from the Country Woods wood grain paper pack, and I think it makes the cutest acorn with that little wood grain paper. So this, I've also used it here, but just in case you didn't catch that video, you do have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber to get these coordinating dies. But this one makes an acorn. So there's the acorn base and then the little topper, but it also makes a strawberry. So you got a couple different dies in one, which we love to get more use from our dies, right? So that is where the acorns came from. But if you don't have that or don't want to get that, this one does have a smaller acorn. Now for my title, I'm going to do some serious mixing and matching. So it would be fun to recreate this banner look, and I could do that on my Cricut or just maybe have a little strip here, but I don't think we'll need that because the alphabet or the letter die here is pretty bold. So I'm thinking this one, and then I've got the sweet blooms. So my thought is lovely autumn day. And for the word autumn, I have these dies. They are called words for the season, and you've got seasonal dies on here. So there's Christmas wishes or autumn wishes. We've got Halloween, there's New Year's, just lots of great seasonal dies on here. So I'm thinking autumn and the word lovely. So let's go ahead and grab that. This one's fun too because you can stamp it and die cut it. There's, if you just want to die cut it and not stamp it, which I think I want to bring in some foil paper. So what if we do lovely autumn? And then I've stamped out the word day here. Let me grab that. I've stamped this in early espresso and just cut this out. And unfortunately, this stamp is no longer available, the documenting the day, but I know a lot of you have it. So I want to remind you to put it to work and use it on your layouts. So lovely autumn day. I think that that might work nicely. I'm going to go ahead and we've got gold foiling in the paper. So I'm going to use some gold foil paper and cut out the lovely. I'm not sure on autumn yet. Let me think on that. Let's start with this one. I actually got the idea to, when I went over to my die cutting machine, I had some of this wood grain paper over there and I thought, well, let's go ahead and use that for the word autumn. So what if we just kind of center this one? I do like them overlapping. And then autumn is probably difficult to see on camera, but it is the same wood grain as this one here. So we can just arrange these in here. So we have this lovely layered title element. That might not be dark enough. We might want to add some inking to that, but I am liking this so far. I really like how that overlaps the photos and overlaps the word day, kind of tying it all together. Now, just like this greenery garland swag on our card, we're going to recreate the look with these fall leaves and acorn elements. So I will speed this up quite a bit because these, there's a lot of little pieces and it does take me a while to get them placed. But the acorns will kind of be, let's actually ink up the edges here with some early espresso ink and define those a bit better. But the acorns will be the top piece and then everything will originate from the acorn. So you'll see how I tuck that under and then the stems of the leaves further out towards the edge of the page will be under those. So we have this layering effect going on, again, with the acorns being the top element. Now I wanted some gold sprigs. This is the branching out die. It has this berry element on here. So we have gold in the title, gold in the pattern paper on the top, and I thought that would look really nice worked into these leaves and acorn clusters here. So we'll kind of recreate the look on the opposite side here. I thought I should clarify the handout I just shared with you featuring all of the Christmas cards is the 2024 handout. And if you didn't join us last year for our Christmas card event, you can purchase the replay. So that's 31 more card ideas. It's actually 31 classes with a whole lot more card ideas because each class will, feature a design concept or technique. And then there'll be several examples just showing how you can use that technique with different products. I think our fall garland is coming together quite nicely, but you'll notice in the center photo, we are enjoying coffee, which made me think of this stamp set more than autumn. And this is great for fall and Christmas. So there's a coffee cup on here. I've got some Memento black ink, and we are going to use the coffee cup image right here and stamp this onto some basic beige. So to make this more fall inspired, we're going to use this pumpkin image right here and Cajun Craze, and we'll stamp this on the little Java jacket. So this stamp was actually released last year. So I know a lot of you have it, but it is still available, which is cool. So if you missed it last year, you can add it to your stash if you love all things pumpkin spice. But there's hot cocoa on there, peppermint, there's a gingerbread man, there's some pie and donuts. So you could really use this year round. Definitely inspired by fall and Christmas, but coffee cups, they don't ever go out of style. They're popular all year long. So I'm adding just a little bit of a brown gray color to add some shadowing. And then I have the light Cajun Craze and I'm coloring in my pumpkin. Now there's a bunch of dyes in this set here, and there is well, we'll use a coffee dye, but then I have a couple little words. This one says coffee. There's actually one that says latte as well. So I cut those from Early Espresso, and you could, put them both on there if you wanted to. I think let's just go with maybe coffee. They're both super cute. I want to, center that over the pumpkin like that. Isn't that cute? I love that you can customize it for the season. I just thought this would be a fun element to add into our cluster because that was definitely a highlight is getting together and going to a coffee shop. So what if we just kind of tuck this little guy right here? I will glue all of these leaves together off camera and that way you don't have to watch the process. But a fun little tip, I've shared it here on my channel before, but I never seem to remember to get Glad press and seal. If you get your clusters just right, you can use Glad press and seal to pick it up as one, flip it over, and add glue to the back. Uh-oh, here comes David stretching in. Hello, Mr. David. He's let's just oh no. Oh fiddly dee. He made a mess of the layout. While I take a moment to fix that, I am going to add a pocket for my journaling on the back of this center photo here. So I have some foam tape from my stash here, and the strips are nice, but you can use dots as well. And I'm just that's a little crooked, actually. It's a little bit tight. Let's straighten that out. I'm creating a little housing for my tag. Now, we need to make the rest of this on the same level. So, the only thing I'm concerned about is my word lovely is overlapping the bottom of my photo. So, I don't know how that transition is going to work. You know what? Let's just put foam down here, and I think it's going to be just fine. So the two letter L's in the word lovely are kind of ramping up onto that photo because it has foam tape, but I don't think it's going to cause an issue. I'm not worried about it at all. Let's bring the card back in and you can see how that translated fairly easily to a scrapbook layout design. I added some journaling lines for my story. And then I added some of this ribbon to the top of the tag. This stuff's got such a cool texture. I want to show you, I stamped the whipped cream on vellum and added it to the top of the coffee cup. So I thought that was a cute little detail. And I'm really happy with the gold sprigs from the branching out set. I think that really finished off our fall garland quite nicely. But this was a fun challenge. And don't forget to tune back in each day to see what the rest of the creative design team has in store for you for more ways on turning a card design into a scrapbook layout. I hope to see you over in our 31 Days of Christmas card group, and thank you so much for spending time with me today.